For a dad, it is so important to understand that from the age of 6 to 12 are the father impact years. So these are the years when dad's voice is vitally important. The voice of the mother, obviously, also important, but dad should take the lead. Now, one of the things that a dad should do is a dad should lead the conversation of sex education with children. Dads, we should make sure that by the age of 9, the sex talk has already happened. You see, before sexual development starts from 9 onwards, and our children feel the changes in their bodies and they see certain changes, we should be proactive in explaining the whole sexual concept so that from that clear concept we can now lead forward into the development. It's always so good if they have a clear picture, a great foundation, and then build from the foundation so that they also understand their own bodies. So it's been said that if it's 8, it is too late, which literally means that when your daughter or your son turns 8, it is the warning light, the warning sign that you should now get yourself ready, you and your wife, to start with sexual education and the sex talk. So let me be clear, we think it is better for a dad to have the sex talk with his son and mother with the daughter. But in saying that, I also believe that we start the conversations, gender to gender, dad to son, mother to daughter, but soon from there we should progress and carry on, and mother and father should sit as a team, both discussing the matters of the sexual concept with son and with daughter, so that they understand the concept of sex is not dirty, it is not secretive, it is holy, it is godly, and it's open between mother, father, and children. It is a family concept to discuss. So sexual education, the things that are needed to discuss with your children, first of all, the basic understanding of sex. It is the role of the father and the mother to make sure that the son and the daughter, your children in your house, know exactly how it works. So first of all, very important things. When you have your talk and when you start the education, you will have to make sure that their first picture and the first connection with sex is God, the Bible, His Word, and then husband and wife in a loving relationship. So let me put it together. Your son and daughter should understand that sex only fits in a marriage between a husband and a wife in a loving relationship. That's the first picture. Secondly, they need to understand that God created it to be in a marriage, and it's a good thing. Thirdly, they need to understand that it is for reproduction, but it's also an act of love and covenant between a husband and a wife. Now, certain basics when it comes to the education, we need to explain the whole concept by using biological names. So when you create the picture, you should talk about the penis and the vagina. Please don't call certain things nicknames. You have to be clear and precise. So the penis and the vagina. Please start by asking questions to your child and say, but my son, my daughter, do you know anything about where children come from, where you come from? Look at the response and now start to respond on the response. But you have to make sure that you create the picture of how the penis and the vagina fits, how it works, how the sperm and the egg shall come together, and how this child will develop. They have to have a clear picture. You see, if you seize the moment and you create a clear picture, and this picture fits clearly into God's design, the marriage, the love between husband and wife, this will serve as the default file. Now, whenever your child hears anything about sex, whether from friends, on the internet, from a teacher, or a group leader or a youth leader, they will have a default file. They will have a foundation to start with. They will have a filter. In other words, they will hear information. They will filter it through which you have taught them. They will turn back to you and ask, Dad, Mother, is this true? So your foundation, when you set it in the beginning, it is vital. Please make sure to do this. So when we are proactive with this, we set our children up to stand strong in the community and in school. If we neglect this, we set them up for failure, because now they will be at prey of friends, of internet, teachers and leaders and whoever, and they will be handed down a wrong picture of sex. This is where all the wrong ideas come from pornography and all the wrong concepts. Well, if we do the sexual talk when it comes to sex, we also have to remember that sex education goes further. For mothers, it's all about the menstrual cycle and when our little girls will start. But fathers with sons, we also have to have these talks. You have to explain to your son about the menstrual cycle of mother and of sister. And you have to connect that with the biological getting ready system when it comes to sex. It is my privilege as a dad to explain this process with my son so that my son better understand his mother, better understand his sister, and so that we as a team can handle this better when it comes to those days or those times, the seasons in the family's life. You see, if you start with the sexual talk and your son understands exactly how it happens and you progress from there to the menstrual cycle, now there is an understanding of the lady, the wife, should be ready to receive the sperm of the father. And the readiness is all about the cycle. So now, this menstrual cycle is not a dirty thing, but your boy will understand this is all a getting ready. It's a godly process so that mother and father can get together and reproduce. Other topics to think about when it comes to that sexual education is things like wet dreams. So you start with the sex talk, you progress to the menstrual cycle, and then before your son is 11, you have to have talks about wet dreams. Where do they fit in? Will they happen? Why do they happen? What about talks of masturbation? Fathers, we need to have the information of where it fits in. Is it a sin? Is it wrong? Is it not? And we have to warn our sons and guide them to do it in the right way or not do it in the right way, steer away from it. I want to say that in our plug-and-play curriculum, we do have additional series, additional sessions, only focusing on things like masturbation. So please make sure that you go listen to those, also to equip you to speak to your son also on masturbation. And the last topic when it comes to sexual education, we also have to warn them when it comes to pornography, where it fits in, why it is so dangerous, so that they do not make the mistakes. So I want to conclude in saying, fathers and mothers, we have to make sure that by the age of 8, we get ourselves ready, we align ourselves and start the conversation with our children, starting from 8 and always following through up to the day when they leave our homes. Thank you. Thank you.